we're bringing you all you need to succeed in the real estate business. It's Spilling the LT, brought to you by Lawyers Title, telling you what it's really like to work in real estate.
Welcome back to another episode. I'm your host, Tamara Gady. Today, we're going to interview a top producing realtor and author of a new book that is about to come out in January. But first, if you like my content, you're really going to love my escrow team. Give me an opportunity to talk to you about your title needs. You can reach out to me on any of my social media platforms. Today's guest is Lisa Johnson-Juden. She's, again, a top producing realtor with Ebby Holiday, and she's the author of the book, A Realtor Circus. So I'm really excited to have her in today. We're going to talk about it. I mean, she put it on the cover of the book, Mastering Your Creativity in Your Real Estate Career. So welcome to the show, Lisa.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for joining me. I'm always glad to see you and be a part of your life. And this is a wonderful thing that we're going to talk about today that you're going to roll out. Tell me the date that it actually is in stores and online.
January 5th.
Okay,
it will be in all
5th.
the bookstores of Amazon, Target. So super excited. Finally has come.
That's
January
so
5th.
exciting. Congratulations. What a great New Year's gift.
Yes.
So I'm one of those people who like to dive right in. Let's get to the meat of what we're going to talk about today. My first question, let's just kind of set the stage a little bit for the circus. Okay.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about your background in real estate.
Yeah. Well, I started about 23 years ago. I guess it was 2000. So I was 24.
Oh my
and
goodness.
yeah,
Can you
I was
believe it?
driving a beverage cart. I was a cart girl at Bridalwood and just graduated and I was looking for a job and there was a regular there, Tim Spurgeon. Of course, everyone always knows him. He's with Huntington Homes and he led me to a job interview. And so I started my first job in real estate there at Huntington Homes. So that was fun and I enjoyed working in the model home. And then that just kind of led me to being a realtor. And so I think it was 2 years later, I became a realtor.
Okay.
So I worked in Dallas Online Realty, and then I moved over to Ebby in 2008.
Oh, so you've been with Ebby a long time.
Yes. Yeah. In 2008, I was like, okay, I'm going to really do really well working with this big company. And then the market just changed.
Yes, it did.
It was horrible. It was horrible. And I mentioned in my book, about 2008 and the failures, and I felt like I had failed, because 2008 was such a hard year. I had to go back to cocktailing and doing something that I did in college. And it was just horrible.
Well, what I thought was interesting is even though you had to do that, somehow you managed to get some future transactions out of it.
I did. And meet some Dallas Stars
That's
players.
right.
Yeah, I sold, I don't even know, a couple $1 million worth of homes from those people, from Holly and Mo and my clients and regulars. And I worked there for almost a year, 9 months. And then the market kind of got a little bit better where I could go back to full-time.
I came in, so very late, like December 2009.
Okay.
So I came in right when, now as an affiliate in the business, it was very beneficial for me because while there wasn't as many transactions as we have today, it had afforded me the opportunity to spend time with you guys and get to know you. And that's how I built some of my most amazing relationships. So, but I understand, it was a hard time for everyone. And I think it's really interesting that we're in a slower market now, right? And you still can't compare it to the stripes you had to earn back then.
No, exactly. Exactly.
So you have become a successful realtor for many, many years. So let's talk about your why. So why did you want to write this book?
I wrote this book because I love to help other realtors. I think there's such being a real estate agent is really hard, number one, and it's hard to keep up with everything. And so that's why I talk about, in a realtor circus, I talk about all the things that we juggle in our real estate career. And so, anywhere from social media to marketing to creating good routines and habits. I mention all these things in my book, and I really have, it really tugs at my heart whenever I talk about realtors, because I feel like there's so many things that we need to be doing for realtors to help them, because I see so many realtors fail. There's an 87% failure rate of realtors, and I see those people come in and they try 6 months, 8 months, and then they have to go back into the corporate world, And so I'm like, how can I help them? Like, I want to help them, and I see them struggle, and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to write this book on everything that realtors need to be doing, and I give so many fun and creative tools in my book. And so I want everyone to read it, and I get excited. I'm like, oh, you're going to buy my book? I'm like, okay, good, because I want to help them.
Yeah.
So that was my main purpose, is to help them. Ebby created a small part-time little job at my office called the ADL, which is Agent Development Liaison. And so I helped realtors. I helped them take, lifestyle shots of them. I would help them kind of plan their marketing, and I would just help them so much. And so that's one of the reasons why I was like, you know what, let me just put this all in one book, and so I can get it out there.
Well, and one of the things that I appreciated about the book is, and I don't want this to come across the wrong way, because this is very much a compliment, is the simplistic, how simple you kept things.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Like, we can, as business people, can overcomplicate concepts on a regular basis, right? And really, I talk about this often, the tried and true ways of building a real estate business today are still the same as they were before.
Exactly.
And so a lot of the things that you talk about, like, for example, pop buys and client appreciation events and things like that, are wonderful ways to build a business. And some of the ideas, and this was another thing that I really, really appreciated about the book, is that not everything costs a lot of money.
Right.
Some of these ideas are very budget friendly, and they need to be when we're applying them to a realtor's business today. Because before, in COVID and the post-pandemic, I mean, we had transactions just falling out of the sky, right?
Yeah.
And so now we're having to really reestablish the ground game, and we have to go back to some of these ways that we built businesses.
Exactly.
And so I love the simplisticness of some of the ideas. It doesn't have to be extremely complicated.
It doesn't. And, I was single pretty much my whole career. I mean, I just got married 5 years ago, and so I struggled for a couple of years, but I got back on, and I just had to keep going, you know, and I talk about that in my book too. But yeah, I just feel like I've done it all, and so I know what works and what doesn't work, and that you don't need a lot of money to be a realtor and do all the things that you need to do. You just kind of need to be yourself, and you just need to.
Well, it is all about building relationships. That's for sure.
It's definitely all about building relationships, and I have so many friends and so many different friends. And a lot of people ask me, like, how do you keep in touch with all your friends? I'm like, well, I just try to be me and check up on them and say hi to them and send them funny things or notes. And, I think, and I kind of mentioned that in the book, I'm just trying to build that relationship and keep it alive. Some people just get so caught up in the world, and then that's why they forget about their friends. And I love having friendships and maintaining those relationships.
Well, and being an expert in relationship building is what is probably the biggest key to being a successful realtor.
Yeah.
So, okay, what is your plan for the book? I mean, for you in the book, right? Do you think do you want this to catapult you into something else? And what is that something else?
Yeah. So this was something I never thought that I would do. I never thought that I would write a book. My mom's a writer. She's a creative writer. She's written several books. But I just thought, okay, that is not my talent at all. But I love helping people. And so once I started putting it all together, I'm like, hey, I've never tried it before, And so I would love to maybe create another book or a workbook that goes with this, or teach classes, because I do have a heart for realtors, and, I know what they need.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
So we'll see.
Okay. And I know you have some of that stuff in the works already.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I do.
we'll see where you end up going with it. So clearly I had some favorite sections.
Ooh, I like that. That's a lot.
I know. I'm very much a highlighter or tabber kind of person.
I love it.
So some of my favorite things that I really liked about the book, and I can really see this turning into a workbook. I like the checklist. I like the blank places where they're supposed to fill in some notes or take some action based off of the things that you said in that chapter, right? So those were the things that were my favorite. I mean, I like creating strong habits. I like the chapter that you talked about that, because I feel like when you are in a entrepreneurial business, you have to stay self-motivated and you have to create a schedule for yourself. And, unlike, when you go to an 8-to-5 job, you have things that you do every day because you report to an office, right? You're the boss of yourself, right? And so you have to be incredibly disciplined and really set up that. This is when we start talking about time blocking, and calendar management, and all of these things. So to me, that spoke a lot, because I do have a lot of conversations with people about staying true to their calendar and staying true to the things that they need to get done every day and staying disciplined. So I really like that.
Yeah.
But my very favorite thing, so I had two very favorite things, and so they got the tabs at the top.
I like that.
Because those are the most important.
Okay.
This one to me, on page 78, the 21-day challenge. This to me was the most standout because of the time of year that we're in and the market that we're in. Okay. Because now we need to be doing the things to fill our pipeline for the spring.
Because we're slow.
Because we're slower. Yes.
Yes.
Now let's, we're going to knock on some wood.
Oh, it's going to be a fabulous year. 2024 is going to be fabulous.
We're manifesting that. That's right. So some of these things, I starred some of this stuff, because first of all, the handwritten note, and I have that in a different question, but let's go ahead and talk about that now. The importance of the handwritten note.
Very important.
So I've talked about this client before. I have a client who I find myself doing things just so I will get a thank you note from her.
Oh, yeah.
Because her thank you notes are so creative and so heartfelt. And I don't, I would need a chat GPT, I think, to bring that out of me. I'm just not that kind of more emotionally available person. It's not like I'm a stone, but it's harder for me to express that side, like in a more emotional, more soft, open side of myself. So whenever I get those thank you notes from her, I'm just like, I'm so excited. And when I check the mail. And so I want to make sure that everyone understands how impactful it is to get a handwritten note from someone.
Yes. Very impactful. I love my 21-day challenge. So some of them I do, and Lisa's 21-day kick butt challenge, because I like
the way you say it too. You're like kick butt.
Because I get so mad because I'm not busy, and so I'm like, all right, I'm going to do this one, and this one's really going to kick my butt. I'm going to double this.
So I love that. I love that you put in, we'll just highlight some of my favorites, right? The 5 note cards a week and mail them, right? We all know we should be doing at least 2 open houses. I put more.
Yeah.
A month
or more.
Or in 21 days, right? And the creative video or reel for social media, I think you should be doing at least 1 a week, right? Let's get started with that. Right?
I love doing reels. I do reels all the time. I feel like I'm just everyone's like, oh, and everyone likes my reels. So I'm like, okay, I want to keep doing it. But then some people are, oh, it's so hard. It's not hard. Just learn it. It's not hard. Just learn it. You just take some pictures. I've taught so many reel classes. And so I love reels.
Yeah, and we have a section in here about equipment and what you need. I mean, it is just as easy as a light and an
exactly.
iPhone.
I created this book to be very easy, very short to quick to read, very straightforward, bullet points, QR codes, little videos. If you can't get some business out of this, then just go back to working.
Well, and on page 69 and 70, this was another one of my, so we're going to combine that too, is the video content. And so the things I hear the most as feedback about why realtors are not doing video on social media. I don't like the way I sound. I don't like the way I look, and I don't know what to say.
Right.
First of all, everybody knows how you look and how you sound. And if everybody knows when I'm in the room because I laugh. When I laugh, you know where I'm in the room. So, right, your people already know you and love you is the point.
Exactly.
And so I like a couple of you put in just a few ideas for content.
Mm-hmm.
What is the option period? How much does a buyer need to put down on a house? What are the interest rates now? What is the market doing in your area? So these are some really good golden nuggets.
Quick little questions, that you can turn into little videos, and describe like, what is an option period? Well, an option period is, and then you kind of go into it. But these videos can be anywhere from 15 seconds to a minute. They're just short and sweet.
And I like that. I mean, someone said, and it might have been Kyle Draper. I don't remember for sure.
Kyle.
But take the most common questions that you're getting asked in your business and turn those into a reel. Yeah. Because you're talking to buyers and sellers every day, or potential buyers and sellers every day. So when you're out and about with your people, what are they asking you? What are the most common things they're asking you?
Yeah. Yeah. What are the interest rates? Who pays the buyer fee? Now there's that question.
Oh, yeah.
But So you just have to kind of come up with some questions that people are asking. What is a buyer representation fee? Or those kind of things. But yeah.
So I live in what's almost no longer a new construction neighborhood. We're about to be done with the build out. But one of the things, so we have as most neighborhoods do, a Facebook group, right? Where people in the neighborhood post whatever their questions are or stuff like that. So it's amazing to me that how many people don't know how to take care of their home.
Oh yeah. Yes. And a lot of my friends always say, oh, I love it when you say, how do you fix this? Or how do you, this is how you repair a toilet, or, whatever it is. Cause I will go over some things, or I have a chimney sweep guy that comes over and, you're supposed to change your, you're supposed to, I think it's after every 50 fires or something, you need to have your chimney cleaned.
Yes.
And then your dryer vent, if you haven't checked your dryer or cleaned out your dryer vent in, say, 5 years, you need to call someone to have them come out, So little things like that, a lot of people forget about, or sometimes I have my mom in mind. My mom lost her husband. And so now she seems like she's kind of like a new homeowner because he used to take care of all the things. And I'm like, Mom, you've got, now you have to stay on top of this. So when's the last time you had your chimney cleaned, or when's the last time you had your air vents cleaned? Those kind of things.
Right. Well,
or
it
air
can
ducts.
even be so simplistic as your filter.
Yeah.
How often do you need to change your filter, and how do you do that? Right now, we need to be re-educating people on putting their hose bib covers on their outside faucets.
Exactly. So these are great things realtors can be doing.
So, we could talk about social media video content all day, but we've kind of made the point. There's plenty of things that you can come up with to create reels to educate your clients, right?
Yeah.
So some of the other things, I love to tour a new subdivision and post about it. I thought that was what asked 5 people for referral. Probably one of the most important ones that you should be doing right now is go through your database and make 3 phone calls a day.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember when I first started, I was like, oh, I don't need a database. I don't need that. I don't need that. And then now that I have one, I love it. I print it out. I color code it. I'm like, okay, I'm going to send these people Valentine's things. All my single friends, they're all going to get all kinds of love from me,
That's awesome.
And so, and I do something special for my single friends, and then my neighbors, and then my clients. Yeah. So I love doing that.
Yeah. I kind of nerd out on my database too.
And I love to add like stickers and but yeah.
Yes. So I get it. And I like one of the other things that you said is have an accountability partner. I like that idea because while I kind of enjoy my database manipulate, working with my database, not everybody does.
Yeah.
And so having an accountability partner and challenging like you said, to challenge them to do it together, I think is a great idea.
Yeah,
So
get
everybody
a
stays on
good
track.
accountability partner. I remember I had accountability partner, and I was the one that always called at 9:00 on Monday, whatever it was. And then, I didn't do my homework. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need a better one.
Well,
Make sure they're a good one.
I actually had a realtor on my podcast, and she is part of a coaching program that if the partner doesn't do what they're supposed to do, they both get fined.
Oh, see?
They both have to pay up.
That's good.
Money, actual money. And I was like, that'll keep you. You'd be in trouble if you didn't do what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Okay. So one of the other things that I really appreciated the book, and I'd like you to expand on, it seems like your ideas in here, again, this is kind of going back to the simplisticness of the book without, again, I'm not trying to, I think that's a compliment, right? And so I really like the fact that a lot of the ideas were easy to do and inexpensive, okay? And you really hone in on the need to be prepared.
Yes. Always be prepared. I have 2 mentees at my office right now, and I'm like, you have to be prepared. And so, I think that being prepared and having everything all organized, and I talk about that too, and I have a whole list, and I'm a checklist kind of a person. I'm like, okay, if you're going to go on a listing appointment, you need to make sure that you are prepared for that listing appointment days before, not, rushing around that day, trying to get things because, or like an open house and like, where are my open house signs? Oh, I've got half of them at the office and half of them are at so-and-so. And oh yeah, I forgot someone borrowed it. When you need to be on it, and you need to be prepared, and you need to figure out, what you're doing ahead of time, whether it's a listing appointment or a buyer in Dallas, maybe go tour that little area if you haven't been in there in a while, so just be prepared.
I really like that because we have like buyer packets and seller packets, right? And so I'll get calls every once in a while. I'm like, okay, when do you need them by? And the ones that say tomorrow, I'm like, oh, well,
yeah, because you can't always rely on that person to be there to get it, and it's just
somehow we always make it happen. But I very much appreciate the ones that say I need it in a week.
Yeah, exactly. I need that next week. I love that. Yeah, because I hate being last minute, going crazy and trying to figure out, oh my God, what am I going to do? How am I going to do this? And I love, when I talk about my creating good routines and habits, waking up early and, doing all the things that you need to do to prepare for the day, because I don't wake up with an alarm. I have to be at this work meeting in 30 minutes and I don't like being in a panic all the time.
Yeah.
So
tell me what your favorite I call them client retention ideas. What is your favorite one that is the easiest to implement and the most budget friendly?
As far as what? Like just to like.
So when you're loving on your clients.
When you're loving on my clients. So, really just personal touches, I love just, reaching out to my clients. And I have my client appreciation party every year. I call it my gobble till you wobble party.
Yes, I saw that.
And it's so fun because I have my clients and my neighbors there. And I love like introducing them to each other or saying, oh, she's from California. Oh, she's from New York, or, hey, y'all are both from the same Bay Area, or whatever. It's like, I love those connections that they make. And that's one of the reasons why I do throw that party, is because I like mixing my clients and my neighbors and my friends all in one. So that excites me. But I love client appreciation parties. I love loving on my friends and my clients and sending them fun things. I also talked about, back to handwriting notes. Sometimes I would get a little bored with it. And then I came up with a secret Santa.
Yeah, I saw that. That's one of the flags that I have here is that, when you write notes, how does it stay fresh?
Yes.
And I think that's probably your best touch, your most budget-friendly client retention touch that you can do.
Yeah.
The client appreciation parties, we'll talk about those in just a second. Those do cost money if you're going to put them on. They're not free.
Yeah.
But nothing's, even a handwritten note, you have to pay for a thank you note. But that's not.
And a stamp.
Well, stamps are getting bad these days. But the handwritten note is definitely, and we've talked, we're touching on it again. I just think it's really important. that is something that you can do very easily that doesn't cost you a lot.
And little
so
pop
how
buys.
do you keep them fresh?
Yeah. So that's why I had to create. I was like, I'm getting tired of the writing hand notes because I do write a lot of hand notes, and I love sending things to my clients, like if free buntini at Nothing Bunt Cakes. We get a whole stack of them at the office, and so
you do.
I'll
so you send the little coupons.
Yeah. So I'm like, here, have a sweet treat on me,
I like that.
or something. And so any kind of things like that, like St. Patrick's Day, I do the lotto card. I love you a lotto, or Starbucks, love you a latte. Here's a $5, Starbucks card. So I love to do kind of stuff like that. I could sit there and mail out things like that all the time.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's technically a pop buy because it is the same type of gift as a pop buy.
Yeah.
But a pop buy, you actually go to their house and leave it.
Yeah.
So those are great ideas of things that you can mail to your clients to keep that idea of a handwritten note fresh.
Yes.
So give us your favorite. Do you have a favorite pop buy?
I still like to do the wrapping paper at Christmas time. I love, just wrapping up my year. Thanks for making my year so special, and giving them a wrapping paper and then a bow and then some tape to go along with it.
Cute.
And maybe
It'd be better if you went to their house and wrapped it.
I know, right? Or did a whole wrapping at my office.
I would think that was a winner if someone showed up in my house and said, "I'm here to wrap your presents."
I know. As much as I love to like, no. As much as I love getting wrapped gifts.
Yes.
But I hate wrapping them. But I wrap them, but I don't feel like my craftsmanship is that great.
Challenges with the bows. That's right.
Yeah. My mom loves to do the bows and all that. I'm more like, just give me a sack. But then I'm like, no, I'm going to make this look good. So.
It's funny because I always wrap my niece and nephew's gifts, but my brother and my dad, they get them in the gift bag.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm like, they don't care. They don't appreciate this. Just as long as the gift is good.
Yeah. Well, okay, before we wrap up, let me ask you one other question. So what is your favorite thing from the book that you'd like to leave the realtor audience with today?
Yeah. So I know we talked about this several times, but, I love the chapter. I think it's chapter 5. I talk about, loving on your clients, because it's so special. It's such a special relationship that you have these clients and you want to keep your clients and, just love on them, and I just love to create that whole month of February, is love month. It's Valentine's Day. It's, love on your listings, love on your neighbors, love on your family, love on everybody, and I think that will get you more leads.
Okay. I think that's a great place to stop for today.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming in to talk about your book today.
Thank you. I'm super excited about it.
Well, I can't wait to check in with you. And, I'll maybe it's going to be one of those I knew or a win situations.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, thank you, Lisa. I wish you and Edward a very happy holiday.
Thank you. You too.
And thank you so much for joining us on another episode. Again, I'm your host, Tamara Gady. If you like my content, you're really going to love my escrow team. So allow me the opportunity to get a conversation started about your title needs and make it a great day.